Welcome to the Museum of Aquarium and Pet History. Thank you again for joining us for another 5-minute video. Should I use the ninja knife? Am I going to cut myself? I don't know. Here's another box. It comes from my good friend Nigel in England. So we know that this is basically very, very cool advertising. I love it when I get an email from Nigel because I know he's got some amazing advertising stuff. The other day he sent me an advertising piece in French, and I said, Nigel, are you in Paris? And he said, no, I'm in Belgium. And yes, there is a French-speaking part of Belgium, which is Brussels. Belgium actually is like 3 countries into one. They have a French side, they have a Flemish or Dutch side, and they have a German side, or a small German part. And that's why if you ever hire employees for Europe, hire Belgium employees because they speak 4 languages. They're required to speak English in school, and they grow up learning 3 languages. And so they just, out of the chute, they're 4 language speakers, which is really cool. All right, so whew. Okay. All right, so this is good because this is like, he's been finding me all his wrecked signs, which I love because then I take them and I have them fixed. So this one doesn't need a lot of fixing. This actually just needs some of the bends taken out. But this is Spratt's patent biscuits pour, which is for June's shins. Now, I'm not sure what June's is, but shins is dog. So this is, again, this came from Brussels. So that is, it was in probably the French side of Belgium is where he found this. It's a really cute sign with the 2 little puppies eating the Spratt's dog biscuits. And you know, last week we talked about the Gaines dog food and how they started crumbles. And you could see that this is really what dog food was all about. It was this big biscuit that they had. So making it into a crumble was brilliant. You know, they actually, and one thing I'm trying to find is a biscuit crumbler. They made this biscuit crumbler for a short period of time out of cast iron to crumble these dog biscuits. So that's something we're looking for. So if you find one, let me know. And then this I thought was really cool because Spillers was a company that made flour in England. And they really got into the animal food thing late in the game because Spratt's really walked all over them in the 1800s. So they didn't get into the dog stuff until about 1910. And this was interesting because this was a point of purchase display, and they must have had brochures in here, or maybe small bags of whatever they were selling. It says successful farmers specify Spillers. So, you know, they were making animal foods for farm animals and for pets as well. And this is a little point of purchase display, which you don't find very often. Very rare. And that is all I have for Nigel. All right, so we got a couple more here. And this one, this guy did a pretty good packing job considering that it's a glass box, and he used large bubble wrap. So good job, buddy. Okay. Oops. Ooh, yeah, okay. So this is a couple of bird items. And this one in particular is pretty cool. But it's got saran wrap around it, which I don't blame them for using it. It's just hard to get off sometimes. Bird sand. So remember, birds actually use grit or sand as their teeth. In fact, in some cases, they used to call it bird teeth back in the late 1800s. This is the proper care of canaries, which talks about how you should use bird sand or bird grit. This is from Silver Note, 20 cents back in the day. Way more expensive today because it's very, very collectible. And I got one more here, which is really cool. All right. Beep. Again, saran wrap. Ugh. But it's not bad. It's just it takes time to get it off. And when you're doing a 5-minute video, you don't have time. Oh, PBF. PBF stand for Philadelphia Bird Food Company, around in the 1800s. And actually, when I started in business with ZoomEd back in the late 70s, early 80s, they were still in business, believe it or not. They were still hanging on. So they lasted over 100 years. This is song restorative. So it restores song of birds. It's got flaxseed, rapeseed, poppy seed, millet, niger seed, lettuce, sesame, rusk, paprika, egg yolk, soy, meal, yeast, sulfur, sugar, and salt. Philadelphia Bird Food Company. Very, very cool. There you go. And I think with that, that's a wrap for this week. See you next week, guys.